Hey guys, it's Maria. Today we're going to talk a little bit about increasing language in our kids. These are for our kiddos who don't have a whole lot of words in their vocabulary yet, and we're just trying to build up their vocabulary. So one of the first things we want to do is get them some friends. If they don't have any siblings, or if their siblings are nowhere near the same age group as them, then let's bring in some other kids who are about the same age as them. If you have a 2-year-old, try to bring in a 2.5-year-old, maybe a 3-year-old. Look for cousins, neighbors, other kiddos who might be about the same age, maybe a little bit older, who have good language skills. You'll see the kids who are talking up a storm. You can understand every word that they're saying. Those are the ones we want to be our models. Remember, these are the kids that we want our kids to be imitating. So if you can find some other kids, try to get just one-on-one interactions with them. I tell parents all the time that if you have a boy, try to get him a girlfriend. So look for a little girl, tend to be a little bit bossy, kind of opinionated, and very verbal. Those are the ones that you want as your child's girlfriend, because they will pull them in, sit them down, and kind of boss them around. And in that interaction, your kids can be picking up a lot of good language. Number 2 is social groups. By social groups, I mean social, structured group activities with other kids. I'm a huge fan of story time at the library because, well, it's free for one thing, and it's only a 15-minute span. You can go to any library and they all run it the same way. So you can take your child Monday to one, Tuesday to another one, or just stick to the same day of the week every week and have them going into that structured activity. The reason a structured activity is so good is because the child is eventually going to anticipate what's going to happen next. He knows after the song comes the book, after the book comes the bubbles. Whatever it is, he's going to eventually be able to start picking up on the words that are coming with this stuff. Jamboree, kinder music, mommy and me groups, anything like that is great. It doesn't have to be an hour-long activity. It could be a 10 to 15-minute long activity that we do continuously. Repetition is super, super important for our kiddos. There's something I like to call Caveman Talk. I do that for my number 3 right now. What I mean by that is, instead of using such long, drawn-out sentences to talk to our kids, let's limit what we're saying to them to one word at a time. If we're working on body parts this week and we want our kids to say nose, instead of going around saying, oh, look at your nose, there's your nose, can you touch your nose? I see my nose, where's your nose? Let's just break it down to nose. Point to theirs and say, nose. Really, really simple, one word at a time. Dinner, eat. We tend to say the same thing about 5 different ways. It's time for dinner, let's come sit and eat. Dinner's ready, come to the table. Eat, food, yum, yum. Pick one word, just say that one over and over again. The kids are gonna respond to it better, and they're gonna be able to imitate it more when they keep hearing the same thing over and over again. Remember, repetition is super, super important. Kids can read the same book 20 times. They can watch that same episode of their favorite TV show a million times. We're the ones who get sick of it. They're perfectly okay with that constant repetition. It's how they learn. It's how they learn to repeat things, by hearing it over and over and over again. So let's try to limit our speech as much as we can to one word utterances. Once we see that they start picking up one word at a time, then we can start adding 2 words together. My nose, your nose, silly nose. But it was just one word for as long as we could do it. So first, let's try to get them a friend. Second, let's try to put them in some sort of structured activity. Third, let's limit our speech as much as we can so that they keep hearing the same words over and over again, one word at a time. Number 4, I like to call sabotage or trickery. Let's trick them every once in a while. Let's do something to elicit language. A lot of times as parents, we have a structure. We sit down to eat, we know when they're hungry, we know when they're tired, we put them to bed. let's throw a wrench in there every once in a while. So maybe sit them in their high chair, give them their plate and their cup and everything else, and don't give their food to them yet. Wait and see if they say anything. Wait and see if they look at you and say, yum, yum, whatever it is. But let's try to just kind of let them initiate the language themselves. Put them in the bathtub. Give them all their toys. Don't put any water in there. Eventually, they're gonna look at you and say, They're going to say something. They're gonna say, mommy, wah, something to say that they want their bath. Along the same lines of trickery is another thing, and that's just silence. Every once in a while, let's stop talking and give them the chance to talk. In a turn-taking interaction, we want to be silent every once in a while. My turn! And then wait and see if it comes to the time when they're going to look at you and say, my turn. Oh, okay. Throw them the ball. My turn. Now it's yours. Wait for just a little while to see if they're going to say, my turn back, because that's really important. We want them to initiate it. We talk so much for our kids a lot of times that we don't wait for them to talk for us, not for us, to talk to us by themselves. That's really, really important. So let's be silent every once in a while. Let's give them the opportunity to talk. As a speech therapist, it's the hardest thing I ever had to do was to stop talking. Because in therapy, I always thought, oh my God, if I'm not talking, the parents are going to think I'm not doing my job. They're not going to think I know what I'm doing. But we have to give kids the chance to talk. And we want to give them the chance to talk by themselves. That's what I mean by initiation. It's really important for them to initiate it, to start the conversation themselves. So we had 5 things. We want to get them a friend. We want to put them in some sort of a group. We want to talk like a caveman. We want to give them a little trickery every once in a while. And we need to bring in some silence. I hope these things help. There's plenty more that we can do. These are just a few that I tend to use the most, or I tend to tell parents to do the most. So if there's anything else that you want, let me know. If there's something else that you have a question about, let me know and I'll try to answer it. All right, guys, thank you. Bye.